Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our Balanced Life, Happy Life for Tuesday, September 26th. Every week, we meet together in order to look at a very important concept, the idea of a Nikken wellness home and the amazing environment that you can create for yourself to truly thrive in, not just survive, but live your very best life. And we're going to be looking over the next few weeks at 5 specific elements that will allow you to benefit from a wellness home: air, water, sleep, nutrition, and natural energies. And tonight we have an absolute master with us. Dr. Gary Lindner has a PhD as well as a master's degree. In addition to his background and his educational attainments, Dr. Lindner has been a researcher, has been a student his entire life, and is definitely someone who understands the concept of why it is that you might choose to create a wellness home. And so this evening, we're honored to have with us someone who's going to help us understand this idea, why everyone does need a Nikken wellness home. So please join me in welcoming tonight's guest, Dr. Gary Lindner. Dr. Lindner, are you there?
I am here, and thank you, Jeff, for that great introduction. This is a topic we're getting a lot of reverb here, so.
Yeah, please don't unmute yourself. Thanks. Go ahead, Dr. Lindner.
Okay, and well, let me just start to share my screen, and I'll chat a little bit while I'm doing that. Let's see. Okay, we should do that. All righty. And I'll be back with you live in a sec. I'm going to stop my video. I was telling Jeff before we got started, my internet works much better when I stop my video, but you'll all be able to hear me fine. So we'll just kind of get started with the presentation. So we're going to introduce you to a very simple and effective concept for self-care and for prevention, and it's called the Nikken Wellness Home. And also, the other aspect of this, and I'm trying to get my changers to work, and in my opinion, why everybody needs one. And see if through the course of this presentation, if eventually you don't agree with me about this. So as Jeff mentioned, each week in A Balanced Life, Happy Life, we talk about the 5 vital elements for life. Now, these are required. They're required for our existence. We need air. We breathe about 20,000 times a day. We need water. We need to stay hydrated. We need to rest and rejuvenate. We need sleep. We also need to feed our body. We need nutrition. And we also need the natural energies of the sun and the earth. And each week, my esteemed and knowledgeable colleagues have been informing you guys on these vital elements that we all need. So to kind of put that in perspective and from a physiology standpoint, we have 50 trillion cells in our body. 10 trillion of those are our actual body. The other 40 trillion are our microbiomes, but we replace 6 billion a day. And in the time I just said that, each of us replace 50 million cells. Now, that's pretty amazing. And I think you'd agree with me. But in order to do this, we need these vital elements. So let's talk a little bit about what our biggest health challenge is. We've been through a couple years of dealing with the global pandemic, but our biggest health challenge remains chronic disease. And I'm sure that everyone listening to me this evening can relate to chronic diseases that have affected their lives personally or with family members or with friends, because they are quite pervasive. In a recent report, and I just updated this slide, and I want to thank my partner, Heather Abbott, for these great slides. She always does a wonderful job. But currently, 60% of all adults have at least one chronic disease. and 40% have 2 or more. And get this, by the time we're 65, 80% of us have at least one chronic disease. Chronic disease are responsible for 70% of deaths globally each year. And treating and managing chronic disease accounts for nearly 90% of our healthcare dollar. And how do we do that? Usually with pharmaceutical intervention. Now, this is a 2019 figure. And again, I just read a recent report from the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and I did a little upgrade. And currently, for the year 2022, that 4.3 billion has increased to 6.7 billion. Now, to treat and manage diseases which are 80% considered by the World Health Organization and the CDC to be preventable. So dream with me a little bit. So what if we could change this? What if we had a way to change this? What if we could change it to where only 1 out of 10 adults had a chronic condition? Only 20% of us by the time we're age 65. What if chronic disease was only responsible for 10% of deaths globally? And what if we spent 10% on treatment and 90% on prevention of our healthcare dollar? Would the world be a better place? Would we all be happier? Would we be healthier? I think you'd have to agree with me. Yes, we would. So what is the key to this? The key is prevention. And again, as I stated just a minute ago, 80% of these diseases, our biggest killers, are preventable. So to prevent them, first, I think we have to look at what are causative factors for chronic disease. So they share common risk factors, and they're divided into these categories: non-modifiable factors, which include our heredity and our age, and modifiable factors. So here's the good news: chronic diseases are primarily environmental. In other words, they're not genetic in origin. All right. So we have modifiable factors such as tobacco use, an unhealthy diet, poor sleep quality, dehydration, physical inactivity. And we have cultural and environmental factors such as globalization, urbanization, pollution that contributes to our body burden of environmental toxins, which is a primary cause of many chronic diseases. So if we look at these 5 vital elements that we discuss each week, I think we kind of have to ask the question, are these in a condition the way nature intended? Are they in the way, are they healthy? And this is kind of what we're going to talk about, is maybe just because of the way we've altered these vital elements, they are contributing factors to chronic issues. So let's look at each one of these. So air pollution is the 4th highest factor for death globally. All right. Pollutants can be 5 times higher indoors as opposed to outdoors. And where do we spend most of our time? 90% of our time is spent indoors. And I think it's safe to say that we all want to breathe the healthiest air possible. The solution in the wellness home for that is the Kinko air purifier. It has a HEPA filter. It filters out 99.99% of particulates. It's not only filters the air, but conditions the air by providing it with negative ions. All right. Now, this is similar to air that you'd find around lakes, around forests, waterfalls, or at the beach where I was just at on family vacation last week. How would you like that air in your home? And when you do that and add those negative ions, in Japan, they call this Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. The other thing I might mention is that you can usually tell a difference when you walk into somebody's wellness home. People will notice a difference. They'll say it feels more relaxed in here. It just feels better in here. And Heather and I experience that often when we have friends come over to our home. But clean, fresh, healthy air in your home or in your working place. Water, very important. So there's a couple issues that we have to do with water. First is the way we think about water. Water is not just a beverage choice, it is an essential nutrient. And we need to drink about half our body weight in ounces per day. Unfortunately, most people don't. And 75% of Americans, well, and it's pretty much global as well, walk around dehydrated every day. And dehydration has been called the mother of all epidemics and the first step we need to take in addressing chronic disease. And again, I think we would all agree we want to drink the healthiest water possible. Failure to drink enough water can cause a whole host of chronic issues, including fatigue, joint pain, weight gain, headaches. 90% of headaches are due to dehydration, ulcers, high blood pressure, kidney disease, and type 2 diabetes, just to name a few. So it is very important to stay well hydrated and do that with the healthiest water possible. Niken's solution is the PIMAG waterfall. It turns tap water into healthy spring water. And it is part of our wellness home, not only for the water that we drink, but the water we bathe in as well. It is an excellent, excellent solution and a cost-effective one to provide you and your family with healthy water to stay well hydrated. How about sleep? Now, here's something else that it's a lot of this is mindset. Many people think that sleep is an unproductive part of the day, when in physiological terms and physiologically speaking, it is probably our most productive part of the day because that's when our body rejuvenates, renews, we store memories. Um, the average adult in the US sleeps 6.5 hours a night, and that's about an hour less than it was 50 years ago. And sleeping less than 8 hours a night, again, can cause a whole host of chronic issues: fatigue, weight gain, diabetes, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, stroke, obesity, cancer. So we want to get a good night's sleep. And the solution for that in the wellness home is the Niken Kinka Rest Nature Sleep System. Now, this system is designed around the physiology of sleep to give you the best sleep possible. Little personal story. Pretty much until I was introduced to Niken and to the sleep system, I was my sleep habits and sleep patterns were not very healthy. I'd lay in bed at night, have a hard time falling asleep. Once I did fall asleep, I would get up, I would look at the clock maybe an hour, 2 hours later, lay there for a bit, fall back asleep, and this pattern would repeat. Since investing in quality sleep with the Niken sleep system, I sleep like a baby. I get into bed, it relaxes me, I fall asleep quickly, I sleep through the night. I get up in the morning full of energy. Kind of reminds me how you felt when I was a kid, waking up Saturday morning and couldn't wait to get out on the baseball field. I mean, just really excited about doing that. So for a great night's sleep in the wellness home, we have the Kinko Nature Rest sleep system. So food does matter, and there's good food and there's bad food, of course. And you've heard it said many times, we are what we eat. So making healthy food choices is a challenge for many people. And think about it, it's one of the most important decisions we make every day about is what we eat and what we drink. And it's everyone's choice to eat healthy or not. So we have over-processed foods, undernourishing foods, chemical additives, environmental toxins, excess sugar consumption, too much fast food. And when we look at this, and again, these are CDC, Centers for Disease Control statistics, only 1 in 10 American adults get enough fruit and vegetables in their daily diet, which we need them. Uh, we aren't going to get them from fast food, right? So we need to supplement. And 60% of children don't eat enough fruit, and 93% don't eat enough vegetables. So our solution for that in our Nikan Wellness Home is Kenzen Whole Food Nutrition. And I've just exemplified this with 3 of our products: our Kenzen Vital Balance Shake, which is great protein source, but it's also great for probiotics and also for mental clarity; and our Jade Greenzymes, which is an organic barley grass supplement that you mix with your Nikan water and drink daily. I love this product. And we have a one that's the new citrus flavored one as well, and that gives you your vegetable complement. So we have our protein with a KVB, we have vegetable complement with the J Greenzymes, and for our fruit complement, we have our Super Siaga with 14 different super fruits. And it tastes great. Kids love it. You can just mix it as a juice for them. They love it. You make sure they're getting enough of their vegetables and of their fruit complements that they need daily, and for ourselves as well. So energy matters. So what's the problem here? We live in a world of electronic smog, cell phones, laptops, TVs, Wi-Fi everywhere we go. And these block the natural energies of the earth and the sun that we require, like I said, that are vital. So we want to aid our bodies in dealing with this technological smog with the natural energies of the sun and the earth. And the way we do that is with the Nikan energy products. And so I've shown you a couple of them here. This is our energy pack. We have a grounding mat. We have different wraps for different areas. We kind of call this our natural first aid kit. Heather and I do in our home, and they're products that we use daily. So we also want to create some balance there. So we have our magnetic insoles, our mag steps to give you more balance, more energy. We have the power band jewelry to do the same. I wear mine daily, my necklace and my insoles daily, and have been for over 25 years. If I don't wear them, I notice a big difference just in that day. So the other thing about the Nikan Wellness Home is this creates a healthy environment for you and your family. And it is putting your body into an environment to where almost just by using the products, drinking the water, breathing the air, sleeping on the sleep system, providing some good nutrition, we start to feel healthier, feel more vibrant. Maybe we'll exercise more if we can do something to alleviate some of that stiffness or soreness. We'll be more active. So it's a great environment that puts you in a position to be healthier. So it's pretty awesome. So the wellness homes often referred to as a greenhouse for humans. And I think that is very descriptive and also very appropriate. And it creates your own healthy ecosystem in your living space. And how Nikan does this is through a process we call biomimicry, which is quite simply using science and technology to replicate nature. So the Nikan Wellness Home is the most logical and effective prevention-focused healthcare system, self-care system in the world. And I firmly believe that. I'm 100% behind. I can't imagine not living in a wellness home. So let me just kind of review this and put it in simple terms. So what I'm saying is that if we enjoy the benefits of modern living, say indoor plumbing, who doesn't enjoy indoor plumbing, right? Electricity, heating and air conditioning, the internet, Wi-Fi, cell phones, laptops, TV, then we need to use technology to counteract the side effects of these technologies, if that makes sense to you. And that's what the wellness home does. So self-care and the Nikan Active Wellness Home products provide an integrative approach to being healthy by choice. And we invite you to join us in our goal to make every home a wellness home. And to be part of our global wellness community, For more information, get back to the person that invited you to tonight's presentation and find out how you can start your wellness home. And please share this information. I think we have a solution for many people. I'm going to stop my share, Jeff, and turn it back over to you. And thank you for this opportunity, and thank everybody for joining us this evening.
Dr. Lindner, thank you. I think it's exciting, this idea that we truly, by making some simple choices and control our environment, control what's around us, what we're putting into our bodies, what we're wrapping our bodies in, we can absolutely create an environment where we can thrive, where we can live naturally the way we were meant to. And Dr. Lindner, everything you've shared with us tonight, these different technologies, air, water, sleep, these natural energies, as well as focusing on the nutrition component, these can definitely help us to do that. So
they can definitely help us. And I almost would say that's not just one individual thing. They are cumulative. I mean, all of a sudden I'm for 25 years, I've been involved with NECAN, and I have seen people's lives change by changing their environment, if you will.
yeah, compounding is a
It's pretty
real
amazing.
thing. When you make these incremental changes and you add them all together, you start to get exponential change,
Absolutely.
exponential growth. So we're here each and every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's around 20 minutes, 25 minutes to really connect with these amazing ideas. Next week, we're going to be focusing on sleep and this technology that NECAN provides that totally changes many people's lives by helping them to get a healthful, restful, good night's sleep. Sherry Danzig, Diamond Team Kaizen Tai member, is going to be joining us and sharing about this vital aspect of the wellness home. So please make the decision to join us for our Balanced Life, Happy Life that's happening next Tuesday. Thanks everybody for joining us this evening. Have a great evening and we'll see you next week.